Hello, welcome back to my channel. Thank you for coming back, and as always, huge massive thank you for the support. So today I'm coming back with this special days collection. This is the one that was launched at the beginning of the year and sets out to cover most of the big occasions throughout the year. And this one is What a Legend, which is kind of aimed at Father's Day, those sort of things. So you've got this massive topper here, which is about 6 inches long, which says the man, the myth, the legend. You've got a newspaper with Father's Day, Times, special day for Dad of the Year. Sorry, there's a joke here. Joke of the day. When does a joke become a dad joke? When it becomes apparent. Sorry, it just caught my eye and then I just had to read it. You're my number one. Happy Father's Day. You've got the border. You've got Dad, you are the greatest. You truly are a star. I'm so proud to call you Dad. You are the best by far. And then you've got your sort of row of books. And the books are like DIY disasters, world's best pubs, the greatest story ever told about the legend that is my dad, the big book of jokes, I think that says, history of the lawnmower and number one dad. And you can see I was playing around with sort of shapes with this, so I did take that one out. And then the foiled one, you've got that newspaper again with that joke on. It's also got a sentiment on it as well. Have the best day. So really, you know, you don't have to put a lot on there to sort of have that fully finished sort of card there. And then you've got your printed one with the man, the myth, the legend on. And then the inserts match that man, the myth, the legend as well. Okay, so I'm going to bring in a piece of white 300 GSM cardstock. Let's just pop these there. I can pop that on there. I'm not sure which cardstock I want to use for this one. Let's go with the foiled. Right, that's for in a little bit's time. So I have sort of planned that I was going to do a sort of stepper card. That was the plan. Just grab that. But just a little two-step one, so nice and easy. So I've got my 6x12 and I'm going to score at 4, and then just because I've got the small board, I'm going to turn that around and score at 2 and at 4, and that's just going to give me 2 quite chunky steps. Now if you are wanting this to go in a 6x4 envelope, you absolutely can do. All you need to do is just make sure whatever you put on this stays within that sort of real estate of the card. I'm planning on going higher because I've got that big topper there. So this will end up going in a 6x6 envelope. So what I will do is just be mindful I don't go over that 6-inch mark at the top. Okay, so that is our card base. Just get that. No, that's it. One. So we've got 2 areas to mat and layer for me anyway. It's this one here, which is 2x6, and this one here, which is 4x6. If you wanted to put anything in there, you can do. I wouldn't mat and layer on the back, and the insert will just be cut down to 4x6 or just under. So let's bring in the trimmer, complete with rubbish from yesterday's crafting. Apologies, get rid of that. And I'm going to use an A4 sheet of silver mirror because the foiling on this is all silver, just because I've got an awful lot of silver mirror at the minute in this A4. I used to buy the sort of 50-50 packs gold and silver, and then obviously a lot of Hunkydory is gold. So I currently have about 3 packs of silver there. So I just wanted to start bringing that down a little bit, just for storage sake more than anything else. Okay, so the mats that I'm doing, so for this 2x2, I'm just taking 2 notches off the 2 and the 6. And for the 4x6, again, just taking 2 notches off. And then I'm going to come in with this foiled piece. And I'm going to start by cutting this to 5 3/4. because that is the length I am going to use. And then I'm going to take from this top part, I'm going to take 3 3/4, because that is going to fit onto there quite nicely. And remember, you could always come in with your embossing folders, you know, anything like that, any of your little stencils, you know, you can emboss on those as well. So what I want to do is try and get this border a little bit more even, because I want a bit more of the dark blue and less of this sort of stripy bit at the top. So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to put those sort of flowers round about at the 1 centimetre mark on my trimmer. So we've got a nice sort of border piece there. And then I'm going to turn that around and cut that at 1 3/4. So I will now have another border piece as well, but not for this card. I just wanted that little bit of contrast between the top and the bottom. That was the plan. So let's bring in my glue. So the glues I'm going to be using, these are mostly all cardstock apart from the inserts. So I'm going to be using my Cloud Tacky Glue in the white. So that's my white wet glue. And then in this one I've got my Cloud All Purpose Glue. These are my favourite glues of choice. Although I do really like that Dotty tape pen. The only problem is I've got about 1 centimetre left of it, so I need to be a little bit careful because I just put an order in and I forgot to order some more, so I have to be a little bit careful with that one. So okay, so just putting some tacky in the corners. This is just my preferred way to glue. It's whatever works for you. You know, craft is a beautiful thing, and there are 50,000 ways to do the same thing. And the beautiful thing is that they all, you know, well, 99% of them work. But this works for me where I am. If you've got glues that are more available to you or work for you, then absolutely use those. That's what I would say. Don't change unless you have to. If it ain't broke, don't fix it, as they say. So we can just mount these on, just mat and lay these on nice and straightforward, not going with any height. Just pop in those on. And if you haven't got any embossing sort of folders or anything, but you want to put a little bit of texture on this one, what you can do is pop that onto your adorable scoreable board or whatever score board you use, and just score every other one or every third one, or mix it up every 2, every 3, every 4. It's not going to match up with the stripes, but that's fine. It will just give that little bit of texture, and sometimes that's just all you need. But that is going to be my card. As you can see, looks alright as it is. I wouldn't give it to someone because they wouldn't know what it was, but obviously it does look alright as it is. Okay, so let's just bring this down to here. So this is what I'm worried about. So this frame is exactly 6, but what I want to do is bring that topper up. So I was wondering about different ways of maybe popping that on, because I can always trim off anything that comes over the end. So maybe sort of think about going for something a little bit funky. Like so. We've still got this one as well, so we could pop this. Keep wanting to straighten it, it's just my natural thing to do that. but that's not what we're going for. I have to keep reminding myself. And then obviously the top, the sentiment at the bottom. Sure, I like that. Let's try putting that behind. I'll do it this way with this one. Or we can try going. No, I don't like that. Maybe I'll go with my first sort of thought. Just take that up. We'll leave out that one so there's a bit of space behind. Okay, we'll do that. So I think for this frame, what I'm going to do is go flat because I want the maximum sort of height difference between for my topper there, and I'm going to go with 2mm for that. So just pop in some tacky glue on, and I am going to go kind of to the left a little bit. I'm going to pop that up so I can pop that right down as far as it will go right into that crease without affecting the crease. And you can see it just hits below that 6-inch mark, maybe about just over half an inch smaller, so that's perfect. Then I'm going to need some 2mm foam pads. Let me just grab some of these because I've only got a few on my desk. We'll put those out. Just narrow that down a bit. Okay. So what I want to do is just make sure I'm not putting any foam pads where they are going to be seen. I am going to go to the top. Actually, I might come above there. Let me just... We can come just a little bit above. Yeah, okay. So we're just going to come a little bit above. And then what I can do is just pop a little line of 2mm ones there. And then I want some sort of narrow ones to go on that top piece. Just a little bit of support, and I think what I'm going to do just to be sensible is pop these across the middle of this frame, so just so it stands out a little bit from this frame is what I'm thinking. There we go. Oh, we need more of those. Don't throw these away yet. McCarthy has tagged you and others. I'm in one of those groups. Well, I'm in Michelle's group when she left Crafter's Companion. And she does some beautiful things now, doesn't she? She either associated with somebody who makes product or makes her own product. But it is more scrapbooky, I think. Quite Crafter's Companion-y, if you know what I mean. Okay, let's just pop these off like so. Now I'm going to bring that frame back in and just pop that down so we know where we're going. Just does make it a bit easier. Tacky glue just so we can get that a little bit. Let's take the back off the stickies, that might help. There we go. Just going to pop some there as well. Okay, so then we can bring this in going to start this. No, we're not, because I'm going a little higher, aren't I? That was the idea. See how quickly I forget. We can line it up with the sides, just make sure, keep that straight. Now I have got a little bit of glue there, so I will just, here's a pudding, there we go. Might be worth just checking you don't glue that down before you get that one out. So I'm just going to just dab that off, and then I'm going to bring in my little glue eraser. That's going to clean that up for me. Just get rid of this residue. All that residue is gone, so that's perfect. And then for the sentiment, I thought about going with this really nice big one with that little poem on, which is, "The Dad, you are the greatest, you truly are a star. I'm so proud to call you Dad. You are the best by far." So, and then I'm thinking this is going to come across, but maybe to that right hand side, and I'm only going to go 1mm with this one, so we don't need to go quite so high. So I'm just going to pop these along the bottom. The second card, I think I'm just going to do another 6x6 like I did last time, because it isn't a huge topper, but it's quite long, so I thought I'd do a little 6x6 on there. So let's just bring that down. I think I'm going to go right about there. And then for gems, I got these new ones from AliExpress. They do them on Temu as well. They're about £3 and you get loads of them. I'll show you the little packet. It was £3. Sorry, crinkling. But you get all of those colours. And there is 2 sizes. There's like, actually it's 3 sizes on that one. Oh, so there's 3 sizes. So small, medium, and a little bit bigger. But yeah, if you want the link for those, let me know. I'll let you know and tell me which one you prefer, whether you prefer Temu, AliExpress. But I thought I'd go with the orange because we've got the orange on there, so it's not very often you can use orange on cards, but orange and blue does seem to go really well together. I just made a card the other day with orange and blue, but you will see that next week. Some exciting new things. There we go. Just see a little bit of glue dirt there. Just what you could do if you wanted to not have this space, you're not going to see that space anyway because the card, well, I'll show you, let me just put that back in there. I decided to try and keep them in there to stop them falling off, pinging off. So when this is on a shelf, you're not going to see that space, or you can see it because I put it at the wrong angle, but on a shelf it's going to be like that. But what you could do is come in with another like sub-sentiment from your little book of sentiments. You could chop some off here and make a border, or you could use this border to kind of tie in. You could come in with Happy Father's Day down there. You know, you could do lots of different things if you don't like that space there. But once it's on a shelf, you're really not going to see it at all. But that is my card number 1, and it does still fit within that 6x6. Yeah, perfect. So I'm happy with that one. So, and it looks a little bit different with it being just a little bit above that frame, but I like that. Okay, so I'm just going to get set up for card number 2. Okay, so we've got that one coming in. So just a piece of 6 by 12, and I have just scored that at 6 inches. So let's bring in the trimmer, and I've just popped the top out just to have a little play with it and try some different things. This topper would be perfect for, you know, that little pop-up front that I do in the middle. That would be perfect on there as well, because it would sort of slope the right way as well. So that might be quite cool if you wanted to try that. But that is not what I'm doing today. I'm just staying with a little 6 by 6. So let me just check. That's going to be fine. So 2 notches under the 6 and 2 notches under the 6. Just that difference. Not much difference between success and having to find another piece, but that is great. And then I'm going to use this printed piece. So I'm going to cut that down to 5 3/4 and 5 3/4. Just check that fits onto there quite nicely. Okay. Now what I am going to do is just bring in my scoreboard, like I said about just making texture on the card. I'm just going to bring this in, and I'm going to go on the 2nd notch, so 1/4 inch, and I'm going to go at the 1/2 inch, and then I'm just going to turn it round and do the same. Okay, so we've just got those little tram lines going across. And actually what I think I might do is just do an extra one there. So I'm going to go at the 3/4 inch as well. So I've got 3 going across, 2 going down. Which just adds a little something to it. I can say the other great thing, if you've got the magazine, that dotty dots folder would look lovely on there as well. I have been using that in almost everything. It's my favourite one at the moment. Although saying that Spellbinders one I did the other day, the party dots, is also quite high up on my list of top 10. Well, I suppose really what I should have is a top 10 of Spellbinders and Hunkydory. They are 2 different things. Oh, and then there's Lisa's as well, Lisa Horton's. That 3D script is my favourite of hers. So we're just going to bring that in and pop that down. And that's already quite a busy card because we've got that big pop of orange on there. Now we've got our frame. Now what I was thinking was having this behind, having that across, and then that going through. And it does look quite busy with that orange. Now have I got... I've got some blue there. Is that going to be the right colour blue? Just thinking maybe popping that under there. And then it's going to break up that. Well, I'm going to do it. So just behind this silver layer. Let's just give that trimmer a second. And my silver layer is 3.2 by 4 3/4. So let's just go 3.1 maybe. Let's go to the 4 3/4. We can always trim it down if we want to. I'm going to take a little smidge off that. Not with this one because that's going to crush that edge. Let's grab the guillotine. That's better for taking just teeny tiny bits off the end. That sort of flies out of sort of scenarios. Because I find with the trimmer, what it can do is just crush the edge rather than cut it. That's better. Okay. Oops, crash bang wallop. Let's just pop that back into my little bit box. Got to sort that out tomorrow. Okay. So if I grab my scissors, what I'm going to do is just take these little pips off. And I'm just going to use my tacky glue. And it should stick really well to this adorable scoreable. And again, you could come in with some texture, embossing, folder, stencil. It doesn't have to be just plain blue. So just going to put that on and squish that into place. Now what I want to do is pop this onto the back of here. Now what I could do is try gluing it here and then doing that, but sometimes I find it just goes a little bit on the wonk. So what I'm going to do is pop this onto my mat. Just going to pop a little bit of tape on just to keep it still, like so. And then what I want to do is just use some tacky glue across those two edges. I think I'm going to line it up with this bottom piece here. And put that down, just use my mat to help me get that straight. And then I can turn that over, and while that's gluing, I'm very gently going to pop some 1mm foam pads on this piece here. Now I don't know if I'm going to get away with popping a 1mm on that side because there are two pieces of card underneath it, so that is going to affect that height. I think we'll be alright. So let's just cut a couple of those down. And I'm not going to put them everywhere, I'm just going to pop them onto this edge. And I'm going to just pop one on each corner on there. Just grab one more piece. And we can pop one of these off. And there we go. And I can pop some tacky glue on, you know, I like to have that little bit of wiggle room time. No, it just gets a little bit blocked up. It's a very fine point. There we go. Now I do want this blue panel to the left hand side. That was on my original plan. So let's just come in. Just make it sort of even on each side. It's not a lot of room. Pretty much fills the card. So that is perfect. And then we're going to come in like so. So what I'm going to do is pop some 2mm pads, oops, on this end here. Maybe 3, 1, 2, 3. And then some millimeter there. Maybe it just needs one, a little one there. Just for that extra bit of support. So again, more tacky glue, you know how I love that. And then, like I say, just want to come over to that left a little bit, just a tiny bit off. So I'm not aiming for the equal sort of amounts that we would normally have. Just try and make a bit of interest with all of those angles. And then we have a sentiment. I was thinking about just going with Happy Father's Day. Not quite sure where I'm going to put this, mind you. Well, let's have a look. So I think it does need to come down this bottom piece because if you put it at the top, it's going to get lost in all that blue. So kind of liking. Unless we went up there. No, definitely not up there. Okay, so I'm going to go on the edge. So again, let's just chop into these foam pads. 1mm again. Again, some glue. Just trying to keep a little bit of blue between the top and the bottom, so it's not all silver. Just hold that up a little bit. Yeah, I'm happy with that. And then I think what I'm going to do is grab some blue gems. So these are going to crinkle. They will eventually come out of there and be less crinkly. I am going to use blue and orange, so we'll use blue on the bottom and orange on the top. So let's go for a little spread. So I'm going to go, because I've got a smaller space down here, I'm going to go with 3, like so. And then because we've got a bigger space at the top, we can carry that through with our 4. Okay. So that is going to be that one finished. So initially I was a bit like, well, I didn't really know what I was going to do with this one. I think the Father's Day cards are quite hard for me because obviously I didn't have a dad growing up. So it's not a card I ever had to give or make. So this one is a bit of a difficult subject for me because, like I say, it's just not something I do. But I'm quite happy with those. Forward a little bit, but those are there. So what I've got left on here now, I've got that newspaper, You're My Number One, and the border. I've got those 3 odd pieces of card. I've got that one there, which is pretty much a card in itself, and then I've got that foiled one, which is also pretty much a card in itself. And then the inserts, one of them I'll use up on these 2 cards. I will make cards up with those other bits. They'll go up on Pinterest tomorrow, so you'll see what I did do with those other bits, because I'm just trying to work through the whole kit, use it all up, zero waste with it really. But yeah, obviously there's going to be little pieces that I might not use, like the little bits of border and things, but they may come in somewhere else down the line. But that's it for today. Thank you so much for watching, and until next time, happy crafting. Bye.